Welcome to the Evergreen Clean introduction. Before we jump in, here is what you can expect. We're going to run through these 4 sections, and then by the end of the call, you'll understand the kind of work that we do, the kind of company that we're building, and you'll have enough information to decide whether you would like to continue with the hiring process. Most people think that we clean houses. I don't actually think that that's our primary job, and I will explain why in a few minutes. Before I tell you about Evergreen Clean, I would like to introduce my husband and I. I am Peyton. I lead the operations, which are hiring, training, client relationships, and quality. My husband is Chelan. He comes from a technology background, and his focus is on the infrastructure behind Evergreen Clean. So he does the technology, automation, and the systems that let us grow. We have very different strengths. I tend to think more about people, communication, and the client experience, whereas Kellen thinks in technology and process improvement. We've been building Evergreen Clean for about 3 years. I'm making this video in 2026. We've spent most of that time building the foundation because we wanted to have clear standards and clear systems in place before asking people to trust us with their homes, businesses, or careers. Things are definitely not perfect, but I hope that we never think that they are. We are learning every day, and we believe that there is always room to improve. And as we grow, I hope that the people that join us help to make these systems even better. As I mentioned before, our primary job is not cleaning. Our primary job is consistency. The biggest problem that our clients have is inconsistency. Quality can change from visit to visit. One cleaner can say yes to something extra, the next cleaner says no. Someone gets sick or goes on vacation. Either way, the client no longer knows what to expect, and that's the problem that we're solving. You'll hear us say, seasons change, our standard doesn't. This applies to our clients and our team. Life happens and schedules change, and I believe that people work to live, not live to work. And this is why we've built the standards and systems, because life is unpredictable, and these systems let the team carry the responsibilities together instead of all of it resting on one person. Many homeowners rely on one exceptional cleaner, and if they have someone dependable that they can trust, we encourage them to hold on to that relationship. But it does place a lot on one person. If their cleaner gets sick, moves, or changes careers, the homeowner has to start over again. They have to find someone new, they have to explain their home again, and hope that the next person is just as dependable. Evergreen Clean exists to take that burden off of the client. Our goal is to have the client preferences documented and multiple team members who understand each account so the clients keep getting the same outcome. We're building Evergreen Clean around long-term relationships. For residential clients, that means helping families maintain their homes over time. For commercial, that means becoming a dependable part of their business. So behind this is a team-based model. We want the clients to get to know us and our team to know each client's preferences and routines. We usually start with a team for the initial deep clean, since that's when we're learning the home and bringing it up to our standard. After that, we assign one primary cleaner plus 1 or 2 backups trained on that account. So the clients aren't dependent on one person and no one person is carrying the client. So when life happens, the client doesn't lose service and you won't feel like you can never step away because the team carries it together. We also cross-train everyone in residential and commercial. While we honor people's preferences where we can, if you find that you like commercial spaces more than homes, you can tell us, and we'll lean your schedule in that way whenever possible. The purpose of this is flexibility, so we can support each other and keep serving the clients without interruption. We're not building a company that depends on one exceptional cleaner. We're building a team that delivers a consistent experience together. I want to take a step back for a minute and explain why Evergreen Clean exists in the first place. There was a season in my life where work felt aimless. I didn't think that I was good at anything, and honestly, one of the reasons that I started cleaning was because it felt like one of the only jobs that I could do. Looking back, it wasn't cleaning that changed me. Community was. I was surrounded by people who pointed out strengths in me that I couldn't see in myself. Things that I remember hearing people say were, "You're really good at asking questions," or "You recognize patterns." Now I believe those things and I work hard to lean into them, but they weren't on my radar before someone else called them out. Because of those things, I've come to believe that we are meant to develop within community, and it's in relationship that our strengths get drawn out. I also believe that every person has specific strengths and a purpose, whether they believe it or not. And this is coming from someone who literally used to think that only certain special people got more out of life. I've learned that that's not true and it is available to everyone. At the same time, cleaning solves a real problem for the clients. While I was cleaning, I had hours and hours to listen to audiobooks, think, and keep growing while still doing that work for someone else. Over time, I developed skills and confidence that I never expected to have. And that's because the time spent cleaning was also used to develop my mind. I just think it's amazing that we live in a time with wireless headphones where this kind of multitasking is actually possible. What I hope to create at Evergreen Clean is a place where people feel equipped to do the work and are surrounded by teammates who recognize and encourage each other's strengths. I think that working without a direction is meaningless and it leads straight to burnout. And I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. I hope that everyone that comes to work for Evergreen Clean, whether you're here for a short season or you're here for years, is able to grow professionally. And during your time working with us, I hope that you're able to make progress towards your goals. Or if you don't know what your goals are, I hope you'll get closer to setting them and have clarity about your strengths. I want to share with you something that is really exciting that we get to do. This is the cleaning nomination program that we run, where members of our community can send us a family who needs help with their cleaning. And Evergreen Clean gets to perform that cleaning at no cost to the family. This is something wonderful that we get to do. It helps people, it makes an impact in our community. But I want to share some of the boundaries around this. We do not clean hoarding situations, biohazards, or active pest infestations. Those all take special certifications, so we don't do those kind of cleanings. And a side note, that means when we're doing regular recurring cleanings, you won't be cleaning things like dog poop or cat litter. We do not do that. Just to clarify, we would not have our team members go clean something that we would not ourselves clean. So back to the nominations. These cleanings typically go to people who have a reduced capacity for a season, like recovering from surgery, having a baby, grieving a loss, and we get to step in and support them during that season. Evergreen Clean does not charge the client, but whichever team members go to perform these cleanings will still get their regular pay. So you are not donating your time. You just get to perform the cleaning, help the family, and you still get paid. You'll notice we talk a lot about systems. We don't want consistency to depend on someone's memory, experience, or having a good day. And this starts with training. There's a saying that has become our philosophy, and it's when we're under pressure, we don't expect to rise to the occasion. We are going to fall back on our training. And this means that we're not just hoping to spontaneously perform our best when something goes wrong. We expect that we're going to fall back on what we have practiced. Our training is competency based. So this means that it's not a week of set training and then you're good to go. We don't just throw you in. What it actually looks like is being trained, practicing, and then able to demonstrate it. So we call this the 3 T's: trained, tested, then trusted. Once you're on an account, our systems are meant to reduce unnecessary stress. We document things and we keep refining our procedures. So if something consistently feels stressful or unclear, that is a sign that our system needs to improve. Maybe that means we need better training or a clearer process or a better tool. We would rather solve the problem than expect people to push through that friction. So if something's not working or you could see a better way of doing things, we encourage your input. We also believe that feedback is a normal part of doing great work. And one idea that we're building towards is having paid time for team members to periodically review each other's work. So this looks like you get paid to drive to another team member's account and you're basically performing a quality check. This is so that we can learn to give feedback and receive feedback and keep our standard consistent. I'd like to finish by talking about our culture because that's ultimately what determines fit. Another phrase that you'll hear us say is that people thrive within order. We believe people do their best work when the expectations are clear and they can trust the people around them. That's why we have systems, standards, and policies. It's not about making the work harder or more complex, but make it clear how to succeed. Clear expectations are one of the best ways that we care for both our clients and our team. The last commitment is trust. Trust is not automatically given. It's earned over time through consistent actions with clients, with teammates, and as leaders, and it's something that we are committed to earning. One of my most serious responsibilities as a leader is protecting the environment that we're building. Every workplace develops a culture, whether it's intentional or not, but ours is committed to people encouraging each other, communicating honestly, and feeling respected. That means that there are behaviors that we won't ignore because they affect the whole team, not just one person. Things like gossip, dishonesty, intentionally violating policy, refusing accountability, or repeatedly creating division. Everyone makes mistakes, and we expect to coach through them. But there is a difference between making a mistake and repeatedly choosing behaviors that damage trust and morale. To give an example, Chelan worked in an environment once where the rules were consistently ignored with no consequence, and it discouraged the people who were trying to do the right thing. That experience was something that we learned from, and we don't want our people to wonder whether doing the right thing matters. Our policies protect our clients, our team, and our mission. And that's one way that we show respect to everyone who works here. Everything in this video comes back to 3 commitments that we ask every member of Evergreen Clean to make, which includes us leaders. The first commitment is consistency. We don't leave it to chance. We document our processes, follow clear standards, and keep improving through feedback and experience. That's how we earn and keep our clients' trust. Consistency isn't about being perfect, it's about being dependable. The second commitment is character. Strong character means taking responsibility for your actions and doing what is right even when no one is watching. It's shown consistently over time, not just in a moment. The third commitment is communication. Clear communication builds trust and respect with clients and teammates alike. That means communicating proactively, setting clear expectations, and following through, and speaking honestly when something isn't working. We'd rather have an honest conversation early than let frustration build because nobody said anything. If every person at Evergreen Clean commits to these 3 things, I believe that we'll keep building a company that people can trust. Now, this is what we expect from you. We expect honesty. Tell us if you make a mistake or if you're running late. We'd rather have an honest conversation than discover the problem later. We expect reliability. Our clients and teammates are counting on us to show up. Follow through and communicate early if something changes. We expect you to be coachable. You don't have to know everything about cleaning. That's what training is for. What matters is the willingness to learn and improve. We expect professionalism. That's in how we speak with clients, how we care for their spaces, and how we treat one another and represent Evergreen Clean. Every interaction either builds trust or weakens it. Just as we have expectations of you, this is what you can expect from us. Training. We will equip you before expecting you to work independently. You can expect support. If you're unsure, have a question, or make a mistake, our goal is to help you learn in a place that's safe to ask and grow. You can expect clear expectations. We build the systems, document processes, and create training so that you're never guessing at what success looks like. And you can expect continual improvement. Evergreen Clean is still growing, and if something consistently feels stressful or unclear, we will ask whether that system can improve. Thank you for taking the time to watch this. My hope is that it gave you a clear picture of what it's like to be part of our team. and enough information to decide whether you would like to continue with the hiring process. I also want to be transparent about where Evergreen Clean is today. There is a standby period while we match you to an account based on your availability and location. Once you're placed, that's when things become consistent and recurring. That wait depends on the right account opening in your area with hours that fit your availability. While we're actively bringing on new clients, we can't guarantee how long that will take. Realistically, it can range from a few weeks to a few months. I don't want that to surprise you. So if you're looking for full-time hours right away, I want to be upfront. This might not be the right fit for you at this time. But if you're comfortable building up your hours over time as we grow, starting with one account and growing from there, we'd love for you to apply. If you're still interested, the next step is to fill out our application on our careers page on our website. From there, we will review your answers and we may invite you to a group interview followed by an individual interview. If it's a good fit, you'll go on our standby list until we find an account that matches. Before anyone cleans independently, we'll complete a background check and a drug test, and then we'll do onboarding and training.